It's all covered in today's China Truths.
300 China dams collapse in a chain reaction as 340 hydropower plants are wiped out. Yes, over 300 dams dismantled almost consecutively, and more than 340 hydropower stations taken offline. But this isn't the result of a natural disaster, nor the aftermath of war. It is China itself demolishing structures once celebrated as symbols of national ambition. Why would a country that once built dams at lightning speed now turn around and tear them down just as quickly? What is buried beneath this astonishing reversal? In recent days, social media across China has been buzzing with claims and footage of widespread dam removals nationwide. The scale is shocking. Yet the official explanation is even more unexpected. These demolitions are not for flood control upgrades, and not to pave the way for a new megaproject. They're part of a sweeping effort to restore damaged ecosystems. Few saw this coming. For decades, China grew at a breakneck pace, often prioritizing industry over environment. The abrupt shift from a dam-building frenzy to a dam-demolishing campaign seems contradictory, even unbelievable. But it also reveals a deeper reckoning with the consequences of decades of unchecked hydropower expansion. From the 1990s through the 2000s, China constructed tens of thousands of dams. Giants like the Three Gorges Dam dominated global headlines, while countless smaller dams reshaped nearly every river basin in the country. These dams controlled floods, generated electricity, and fueled agricultural growth. But the price was steep. Disrupted river flow, damaged biodiversity, altered sediment patterns, dried out tributaries, and long-term degradation of freshwater ecosystems. One of the worst-hit regions was Sichuan. Once rich with species like the Yangtze sturgeon, its rivers suffered ecological collapse as more than 350 small hydropower stations blocked migration routes and destroyed spawning habitats. Stagnant water became warmer and oxygen poor, accelerating the decline of species that had survived for millions of years. Eventually, China was forced into drastic measures: a nationwide 10-year fishing ban starting in 2021, suspension of new hydropower projects, and mass demolition of small dams. According to reports, 84% of old dams and 92% of small hydropower stations in affected regions have now been removed or shut down, allowing sections of rivers to flow naturally again. Water clarity has improved. Fish have begun returning to historical migration paths, and communities are seeing early signs of ecological recovery. But the process has also exposed the deep scars left by decades of overdevelopment, scars that cannot be undone overnight. While demolition crews worked inland, southern China was being battered by a once-in-a-century flood. Torrential rainfall submerged several provinces, pushing hydrological stations to issue continuous red alerts. Guizhou, one of the worst-hit areas, was forced to raise its emergency response to the highest level after experiencing 2 once-in-a-century flood peaks within days. Sudden reservoir discharges caused water levels to spike, forcing tens of thousands to evacuate. Landslides swept away homes, roads, power lines, and water infrastructure collapsed. Nearly 80,000 residents fled in the middle of the night as waters rose without warning. Official reports confirm at least 6 deaths, dozens missing or injured, and widespread economic losses, though actual numbers may be higher in isolated mountain regions. More than 13 rivers exceeded warning levels. The central government has allocated over $140 million in relief aid, but experts warn these are temporary fixes. Many point out that China's dense network of dams has altered natural hydrology, reducing downstream resilience during extreme rainfall. The crisis doesn't stop there. Residents of Yang District in Hunan are grappling with contaminated tap water that smells foul and runs yellow-brown. Tests show coliform levels far exceeding safety standards. Officials offered vague explanations: algae, seasonal changes, minor technical issues, but the public suspects deeper, long-standing contamination problems. China has a long history of water-related disasters that briefly spark public outrage before fading away. One infamous example was the 2005 explosion at a CNPC petrochemical plant in Jilin, which spilled 100 tons of toxic chemicals into the Songhua River. The penalty? A fine of roughly $1,400, a number widely viewed as symbolic and insufficient, fueling criticism of leniency toward powerful state-owned enterprises. All these events, dam demolitions, historic floods, water contamination, expose a single truth. China is now confronting the environmental consequences of its own hyperdevelopment era. What was once celebrated as progress is now being dismantled, re-examined, and rebuilt under growing ecological and public pressure. China's economy is crumbling. More and more people can't afford food. Look at the hands of these college students delivering food all month. Just look at that color difference. Guys, how does it feel? Working day and night, earning almost nothing, only exhaustion and sunburn. Tell me, do you still want to deliver food? No money? And you end up tanned like this. China's economic restructuring has wiped out countless white-collar positions. As a result, many fresh graduates are pushed into low-paying service jobs completely unrelated to their majors: food delivery, security work, basic labor. These jobs offer no career growth, no stability, and no sense of future. That's why so many young people have quietly slipped into a low-desire, low-consumption lifestyle. I'm 30 and have been unemployed for a whole year. If I still don't go back to work, I'm done. I was laid off last March. I tried countless interviews. In Hangzhou's job market, even 4,000, 5,000 UN jobs are fought over fiercely. The mismatch between pay and workload is ridiculous, and it's especially cruel toward single women in their 30s. She said she finally landed 2 jobs, but both ended shortly after. By last August, she completely shut down, staying home, doing nothing. At first, she enjoyed the break. Severance pay, unemployment benefits, and no more annoying coworkers or bosses. No more early morning subway commutes. For a moment, life felt free. But the silence soon became suffocating. No one calls me except for food delivery notifications. The only thing that keeps me going is walking my dog, and even that, I only do at night. Because I'm scared neighbors will ask, "Why aren't you working?" I feel like a failure. Another delivery worker said, "I got paid today. Looking at the notification, I felt the weight of life crushing me." She worked 28 days last month, more than 13 hours a day, yet earned only 3,890 yuan. Once, the elevator in a building broke, and after climbing more than 20 floors to complete her delivery, she was fined 100 yuan for being late. Her mother's medical bills cost another 1,650 yuan. After everything, she had just 580 yuan left. She still didn't eat lunch that day because she rushed to finish orders. Her chronic stomach pain flared up again. Life is brutally hard, but I can't quit. I'm the backbone of my family. For my mom, I have to endure. Her husband, a former programmer, recently lost his job too. After calculating their expenses, he suddenly said, "Let's sell the house." She froze, unable to process what came next. Others share similar stories. "When I'm unemployed and saving money, I can survive on 0.99 yuan a day. Auntie, can I take this melon home for my rabbits?" "Take it," the vendor replied. She picked up a fresh loofah, small comforts to survive the day. Half the year has passed, and I still can't find an ideal job. I'm scared to go out during the day. I don't want to run into my landlord asking, "Why aren't you working?" Staying in my rental room all day is driving me mad. I'm 42, born in 1983. I've been unemployed for 8 months. My life is a wreck. No house, no car, no partner. I rent a small room in Beijing. People my age have families, kids, stability, yet I'm still alone. She said the job hunt keeps her awake at night. She polishes her resume, sends dozens of applications, yet receives 0 calls. This is the reality for middle-aged job seekers. Job apps constantly recommend delivery or sales positions. Even if she finds a job in her field, she fears she won't last a year, maybe only a few months before being laid off again. Another blogger shared her story. Would you go out and find a job again after turning 50? I'm that stubborn auntie. I lost my job, stayed home for 2 years. Then I became a kindergarten teacher. Every day I took 15,000 steps caring for kids, earning only 2,200 UN a month. After half a semester, I injured my knee and had to spend thousands on medical bills. It wasn't worth it. She realized chasing money endlessly is meaningless. After 50, the body begins to fail. Heavy workloads slowly destroy your health, so she quit completely. Simple life, no struggle. And finally, peace. Another person said, "It's my 6th day of unemployment. Honestly, aside from having no income and my butt hurting from lying down, I can't think of any other downside. I told myself to rest for 3 days, but I kept lying down, so I extended it to 7. Then I realized the 7th day is the weekend. My boyfriend has days off, so 2 more days." She promised herself she'd start job hunting after that. Peng Xiaoliang, who moved to the US in February, said, "I have a relative with a computer science degree. After graduation, he couldn't find a job. Now he works as a supermarket sales clerk in a third-tier city, no different from someone who never went to school. His 3,000 to 4,000 yuan salary barely covers rent and transportation. He's now in his 30s with low income, low status, and still unmarried. Sadly, his story is not an exception." Mr. Wang, a graduate of the Los Angeles Film Academy, said he dreamed of becoming a film director. After losing his job in the film industry, he tried working as a game planner, but eventually was laid off again. To survive, he became a food delivery driver and courier. "This job has no safety. If you're late, you get fined. To avoid penalties, you run red lights. Cars have brushed past me. I almost got hit several times. It's terrifying."
Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We will keep reporting on the COVID surge in China, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to get the latest videos. And thank you for tuning in.